Hi there. I got a bad cold, but I'm still making a video. My nose is filled with whatever, and I cannot breathe very well. But it doesn't matter. My voice also sucks. Oh well. It's time to do a best of or favorite finds video for 2018. Uh, Only thrift store finds. Why? Because I just want to do that. Uh, we'll see how far I get with this video because I don't feel too well. But let's get started. There's 10 records. They're not all records that are amazing, but some are, and some basically are just not that good. But I love the album cover, and that's where we're going to start at number 10. This is an album by a project called Spike Marlin and the Thunders. The album is called Twisting. There we are. Let me put this away so there's no glare. Oops, sorry. Well, there's still glare. Doesn't matter. Yeah, I picked this up because of the album sleeve. I love this album cover. This is from, I believe, 1963. It's on Society Records. And as it says, it's a twist record. I'd like to call it a twist exploitation record because it's cashing in on the old twist boom of the early 60s. You get horrendous or sort of predictable album or song titles, sorry. Peppermint Twist, Birdland Twist, Hillbilly Twist. What's more twisting? You got stuff like Teen Beat, but also When the Saints Go Marching In, a twist version of that. So no, it's not great music, but this album cover makes it, gives it a place in my top 10 of favorite finds of 2017, 18. I'm not feeling too well, sorry. So that's number 10. Number 9 is this one. This is QT Hush. This is a late find of in the year, probably November that I found it. Self-titled album from 1985 on Epic Records. It is a sort of electro-funk kind of record. It's also a disco kind of record and a soul kind of record. When it goes into the electro-funk, it is amazing. Not the best, but it's well worth checking this out. I love finding albums by artists and bands that I've never heard of, QT Hush being one of them. And yeah, do check out 20th Century Fox, and I believe the title of the QT Hush track. Those are really good. The rest is kind of enjoyable, very much. Number 8, as my voice keeps getting worse and worse because my nose, I cannot breathe. So, number 8 is self-titled debut album by Stephen Stills from 1970. It's American pressing, but not in the greatest shape. It features Crosby, Nash, Rita Coolidge, John Sebastian, Jimi Hendrix, Eric Clapton. It's not my favorite Stephen Stills record, but I do love it. I love the harmonies. I love the vocals. I love the crazy pink giraffe on the snowy cover. Doesn't make sense. Anyway, it's a great record. It deserves a place in the top 10. Picked up this, my first modern jazz quartet record. It's Fantassa, from, I think, an original US pressing from 1960, 60 something. I have no clue what year this came out. I really don't know. Doesn't matter. You get, who are on here? Milt Jackson, John Lewis, Percy Heath, and Connie Kay. I found this at a thrift store among a whole bunch of classical records, and it looks like a classical record, but it wasn't. Because hey, it says jazz. Great record, and a great entry point into this band, or group, or quartet. More jazz is this one. This is Erto's Fingers from 1973. I found a whole bunch of CTIs online and in stores. So this was a good year for CTI finds. This one was on my list, sort of, to find. It's Brazilian jazz, funk, something like that. Features Flora Purim on vocals and percussion. But yeah, this is a great find at a thrift store for $1. Now we're getting into the more crazy finds. I'm sorry. So the next 5 records are records that I was kind of like, wow. Starting off with this one. This is Sounds Like the Flirtations by the Flirtations. Soul album from 1969 on Duran. And it's pretty sought after. It's a collectible album. The song Nothing But a Heartache is a classic. I never heard of these women, and the cover just, I mean, look at that. Wonderful, wonderful ladies. Beautiful picture. It's a great record. Sorry. So yeah, this is number 6 on the list, I think. No, 5. Yeah, number 5. Sorry. Number 5 on my list of favorite finds. Now we have this one. This was a record I've actually been looking for very, very long time. This is Liege and Leave by the Fairport Convention. It's early pressing. Pink Rimmed Island from 1970. Is that 1970? Gee, I'm just making things up. 1969. It's not a first press. It's a Dutch pressing, but we found it for like $1.50. And it's in great, great shape. And yeah, I'm finally happy to find this. Because you don't find Fairport Convention that often at thrift stores. The next 3 are psychedelic records. With the last one being more proggy. But first up, it's this one. Country Joe and the Fish together. German pressing of this psych record, which came out in 1960. I don't know, 68, 60, 69. Anyway, it's gatefold. Record comes out here. It's on Vanguard. And it's a really good psych record. It's not my favorite Country Joe record, but it was actually torn. This whole piece was gone. So when I found that as well in the same store, I just took it with me. And I taped it because it couldn't be glued. Anyway, oops. Sorry. Great record for $1. The price is still on here. €2. If you go online, you'll see that this is worth a little bit more than €2. This is yeah, I'm still confused. This is Friend Sound, Friend Sound, Friend Sound with Joyride. The album looked interesting. The write-up on the back talked about musique concrete. There's electronic instrumentations on the back. Not all of them, but a lot of them. So I thought, let's give it a shot. It's on RCA. And it turns out that this is a psych record that is pretty far out when it goes into the electronic and field recording thing. Interesting record, yeah. This was one of my favorite records of the year. Favorite finds of the year. With only one being number one. This is the number two. Number one is, and if you've watched all my videos, you might know that this would be number one. This is Trees with the Garden of Jane Delaunay. Came out in 1970. This is the Dutch pressing. I believe this is the first pressing from Holland. This was the lonely record there. The bids were filled with lots and lots of records. Some of them were priced higher, and I was like, when I saw this, like, this is not correct. This should be higher. It's not. This is a great proggy psych record, folky as well. Just an amazing find. It's on CBS, and that's it. That's my final video, final record of this video. I'm going to call it quits because I cannot breathe. Thank you for watching. Next year, I'll hope to have just as interesting bunch of records to show. In the meantime, I hope I get better before my next video. If not, you'll have the same shitty video that you have right now. Doesn't matter. My voice is nasal. Can't do nothing about that. Thank you for watching, and see you soon.